Let's get started with our first news. Charles Oliveira is only interested in fighting for the title. Yes, you heard that right. Charles dubbed Bronx. Oliveira has made it crystal clear that he's not entertaining any other fights unless there's a belt on the line, despite a lot of buzz surrounding a potential showdown between Oliveira and Paddy Pimblett. The Brazilian fan favorite has his eyes locked on only one thing: the UFC lightweight title. There's no denying it, an Oliveira versus Pimblett bout would generate massive hype. Both men are dangerous finishers. They're household names, and it would definitely draw huge attention from fans around the world, especially after Paddy Pimblett's shocking stoppage win over Michael Chandler at UFC 314. Fans have been buzzing about what could be next for the Paddy Pimblett himself, named Charles Oliveira, as a fighter he'd love to face, and the stylistic matchup is undeniably exciting. But Oliveira isn't buying into the hype while speaking. With Portal do Vale Tudo, he didn't hold back. He stated, "I'm looking for the title. I don't run away from anyone, I never have. I'm not going to run away now. I'm ready to fight any of these guys. I respect them all, but I'm going to set my own pace, in my own game, so why not? If it's for the title, why not fight Tsarukyan? I'm looking for the title. I don't want to fight another fight, just to wait for the title. No, that doesn't interest me. I want to fight for the title. I don't even think about Pimblett. I'm thinking about the title, so I can't be thinking about the guys who are below me. This isn't about ducking opponents. This is about legacy." Oliveira knows what's at stake. He's currently sitting at number 2 in the lightweight rankings, while Pimblett is just breaking into the top 10. At number 8, taking that fight would come with high risk and low reward for Charles. But here's the catch. Does Oliveira actually have the leverage to demand a title shot right now? After all, he's just one fight removed from a decision loss to Arman Tsarukyan. And let's not forget, he was submitted by the current champion, Islam Makhachev. So is Charles Oliveira being strategic, or is he letting his pride get in the way? Either way, one thing is certain: he wants the gold and nothing else will do. Moving on to the second news, Belal Muhammad shuts down any talk of a potential fight with Islam Makhachev. There has been a ton of buzz lately about whether Islam Makhachev will move up to the welterweight division in an effort to become a 2-division champion. Fans and analysts alike have been speculating about this possibility ever since Makhachev hinted at his desire to add the UFC welterweight belt to his already impressive legacy. But there's one man who keeps putting a stop to that conversation, and that's the current welterweight title challenger Belal Muhammad. Belal and Islam are not just competitors in the UFC, they're close friends and longtime teammates. That bond has made it extremely unlikely that they'll ever step inside the octagon against each other, and Belal Muhammad has once again made that crystal clear. Despite all the rumors, all the hype, and all the fantasy matchups fans love to create, Belal says it's not happening. In fact, Islam himself hasn't shown much interest in fighting Belal, either, so much so that Makhachev even entertained the idea of moving up 2 weight classes to middleweight, just to avoid any possible conflict with his friend while still chasing greatness, ahead of his scheduled fight with Jack Della Maddalena on May 10th. Belal Muhammad spoke with MMA Junkie, and when asked about the ongoing buzz around a potential clash with Islam, he didn't hold back. He said, "There's levels to loyalty. There's levels to this. And for myself, like you said, you do get tired of it, because I do have a lot of challenges. I've got a long list of guys in front of me, even for Islam now with Paddy Pimblett. With that huge win he got, he's another guy right there. He's got Justin Gaethje right there. If Pereira gets a win, he's right there too. My end is like, my eyes are set on my next target. My next target is Jack, and that's all I care about." So while the fans might love the idea of 2 elite fighters going head-to-head, the reality is that Belal Muhammad versus Islam Makhachev is not something we'll be seeing anytime soon. If ever, what will be interesting is what happens if Belal successfully defends the belt at UFC 315. Will Makhachev stay at 155? And if so, could his next opponent be Topuria, or even the always dangerous Justin Gaethje? Only time will tell. Moving on to another story, Magomed Ankalaev sends a message to Alex Pereira. It looks like Magomed Ankalaev is not backing down when it comes to his desire for a rematch against Alex. Pereira Ankalaev has made it crystal clear he wants another shot at the title, and he wants it against Pereira. The Russian powerhouse has been consistently calling out the Brazilian striker, and last night he took things a step further by posting a challenging message to Pereira on his Instagram. In the post, Ankalaev wrote, "Alex, I'm ready to give you a rematch if you really want it. Just be prepared for a storm in the next fight. A storm that you've never faced in this sport." Strong words from a man who believes he's the true top contender in the division. And let's be honest, Ankalaev has a point, while Pereira has taken the division by storm, ever since moving up from middleweight. There's a lingering question among fans and analysts. Can he handle someone like Magomed over 5 full rounds in a rematch? Their first fight had its fair share of drama, and many believe that if Ankalaev had made a few different decisions, the result could have been very different. Now, with more experience and a renewed hunger, he's promising to bring a whole new level of violence to the octagon. Right now, there are rumors swirling that the UFC is looking to book this massive rematch for August, potentially in Chicago. Though nothing has been officially confirmed, still, both fighters seem more than ready to run it back and settle the score once and for all. Seem interested, and both camps are already making moves behind the scenes to make this matchup a reality. It's worth noting that this fight isn't just about revenge for Magomed, it's about legitimizing his run, silencing the doubters, and proving that he deserves to be the light heavyweight king on the other side. Pereira has a lot to prove as well. He's made an incredible impact in the UFC, but a win over Ankalaev in definitive fashion would erase any doubt about his place at the top of the division. So the question remains, are you ready for this rematch? Because if this fight gets made, it's going to be an absolute war. Let's move on. Merab Dvalishvili talks about a potential Sean O'Malley rematch during a recent sit-down interview with popular influencer Sneeko. Top bantamweight contender Merab Dvalishvili opened up about what a rematch with current champion Sean O'Malley would look like. And according to Merab, it's not going to be easier this time around. If anything, he believes it's going to be even harder. But as always, the machine is ready for the challenge. When asked directly, do you think it's going to be easier or harder than the first fight? Merab gave an honest and grounded answer for me. I mean, if it's easier? Oh, it's good, but I had no preparation for that first fight, and this way you have to train hard and you make it look easy. Merab emphasized that, while he's confident in his skills, complacency is dangerous. He knows what it takes to beat a guy like Sean, but the danger lies in getting too comfortable. Sometimes it's harder for me to train hard because I know I beat this guy. You have to psych yourself, he continued. I have to be still hungry. I have to remember first time I was the challenger. I was game, I was hungry, I was disciplined. This insight gives fans a rare look into the mental game that top-level fighters have to master. It's not always just about physical conditioning. It's about staying sharp, staying motivated, and never underestimating an opponent, no matter what happened in the past. And Merab knows that in this sport anything can happen. He reminded everyone just how unpredictable the octagon can be. Like you said, it takes one punch. If I make any mistake, if I slip, he has some. Jet Merab even joked about O'Malley's incredible speed and movement, laughing as he said, he's under 18. I think that kind of comment shows Merab's playful side, but behind the smile is a fighter who knows exactly what's at stake. He respects Sean's striking, his range, and his ability to end a fight in a split second. So will we see this highly anticipated rematch in the near future? That remains to be seen. But if it happens, you can bet Merab is coming in hungry, focused, and ready for war. Let's move on to another one. Michael Bisping talks about what's next for Islam Makhachev. There's been a ton of speculation surrounding Islam Makhachev's future, and one of the hottest rumors floating around right now is the possibility of a lightweight super fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. Despite the buzz, Makhachev has made it very clear that he has zero interest in fighting another former featherweight, especially after already defeating Alexander Volkanovski twice, still with Topuria recently vacating the featherweight title and making his move to lightweight. Official fans and analysts alike are wondering, could this fight happen anyway? According to Michael Bisping, even if Islam continues to push back against this matchup, and even if he makes a permanent move up to welterweight, the UFC is not going to strip him of his title. In a recent video recorded while he was literally out enjoying a peaceful boat ride, the Count shared his thoughts on the champ's future. Because he is such a great champion, because he's taken short notice fights, because he's the most successful lightweight on planet Earth in the history of the sport, there ain't going to be any crazy talks of stripping Islam Makhachev. That just isn't going to happen. And honestly, it's hard to argue with Bisping here. Makhachev has proven his dominance. He's beaten elite competition, he's defended his belt under pressure, and now he's got his eyes on a second division. But who will he actually fight next? That question might depend on what happens at UFC 315, when his longtime friend and teammate Belal Muhammad defends the welterweight title against the surging Jack Della Maddalena. If Belal wins, it's very likely Islam stays put at lightweight. But if JDM pulls off, one of the greatest champions in UFC history was often criticized during his run for being too safe. But in hindsight, most fans now view him as one of the smartest, most tactical, and most dominant fighters to ever enter the octagon. And Jack seems to be saying Belal Muhammad might be following a similar path. Hey, so I think he's good. Bal is good at winning. He continued, but yeah, I think he's there. He's shown he can be beaten. So I think I'll get him. So while JDM is clearly confident going into UFC 315, he's not underestimating the challenge ahead. He acknowledges that Belal Muhammad might not be flashy, but he's effective, and that's what makes him dangerous. Do you agree with JDM's comments, and what do you think about his comparison to Georges St-Pierre? Let's wrap this up. Dricus Du Plessis fires back at Khamzat Chimaev, but DDP gets injured just when the hype around Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis was reaching a fever pitch. Fans were hit with a disappointing update. According to early reports, Dricus Du Plessis has suffered an injury that has reportedly canceled their planned title fight at UFC 317. The middleweight clash, which was widely expected to headline UFC's International Fight Week in June, now appears to be delayed. Veteran MMA journalist Kevin Iole revealed that while nothing is official just yet, all signs are pointing toward the bout being pushed to later this year. Before this setback, DDP had been firing back at Khamzat's mind games and warning fans not to buy into the boogeyman. Hype surrounding the Chechen-born contender Dricus has made it clear he doesn't fear Khamzat's wrestling, and he even intends to engage him on the ground. In fact, DDP has repeatedly said that Khamzat's aggressive style will ultimately work against him, especially in the later rounds where Dricus believes his own cardio and grit will shine in DDP's eyes. Khamzat is beatable, and he sees this fight as the perfect opportunity to not only defend his belt, but to shatter the myth of Chimaev's invincibility. For Du Plessis, this wasn't just a title defense, it was a chance to make a statement and further cement his status as the king of the middleweights. But now, with UFC 317 missing its main event, the big question becomes, who should headline International Fight Week? Could we see Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria? Maybe even the long-awaited John Jones versus Tom Aspinall? Heavyweight showdown. Let us know, what fight would you want to see? If you enjoy our videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it.